I was trying to figure out how to teach Gantt charts to students, and one thing I noticed when I was watching the Greatest British Baking Show is that sometimes people used Gantt charts to keep them in line with their recipe, because they have definite time frames that they have to get stuff done. So I teach Gantt charts first through having the kids cook a recipe. Either I did it for the school store and we made granola bars, or we do it at home for parents and we create a Gantt chart with a recipe that they love. So food is such a motivator, so that's why I think it's great to start with food and start with a recipe. But it actually can be used to plan events, construction projects, many other business timeline scenarios. So a Gantt chart is great. It's like that visual understanding of where you're going. So it is time-dependent timeline. When you're doing a recipe, it's best to put ingredients on the x-axis and time on the y-axis, then decide how long each of those steps with that ingredient is going to take. So it's pretty interesting to see this recipe and this recipe, because they're the same recipe. This doesn't really help with how much time each of those things take or when it's done. Whereas this, when you use a Gantt chart, shows you what you're doing and when. So it takes a lot more time to write the Gantt chart, I'll tell you, because a lot of times we spend about an hour creating the Gantt chart and then we do the recipes. So it's not super efficient, but if you're on the Greatest British Baking Show, or you want to learn how to do a Gantt chart, you should try it. All right, so once we did that, I had everybody make a Gantt chart for an event that we were going to do. So here are some examples. We were going to have an event where we had walk dogs as a community together, called Sunrise Sniffers. Actually, first we did a stakeholder map, and we thought, who are our stakeholders? And then we went and did the Gantt chart. And here we have the steps that we need to take to organize the event and the days in the month that we are going to do them. And then the student made a Gantt chart. Again, this is a little lesson. Find your stakeholders so you know who your stakeholders are. Understand the why behind the event and create a Gantt chart for the event. So you kind of have everything set up for the kids to really understand the meaning of the event and how we're going to move forward and how we're going to market it, because that helps with the stakeholders. And I thought this was interesting because one of my kids did this and they kind of messed it up, but it was actually really great for them to mess it up, because then they saw that they messed it up and they realized they could have overlapped some of these tasks instead of doing them all each week moving forward. So they brought this together and they made it more efficient in the second one. So it's good for kids to make these and kind of not do it correctly, and then to be able to see how you overlap some of the tasks and make it more efficient. I will make sure to put in the description of the videos the stakeholder lessons and how to make a Gantt chart, and so that you can do everything that we did. Have fun with Gantt charts. They're actually pretty fun to make. Grab some new Sharpie markers and have fun.